There is a persistent debate that echoes across the pens of countless seasoned breeders looking to maximize meat yields and daily egg collection without losing that raw homestead hardiness. The big question is always which genetics to choose to secure the farm's returns against unpredictable weather patterns. We're talking about the eternal dilemma between the Naked Neck Sasso, carrying the famous Na gene, and its fully feathered brother. This decision is no minor detail, since your choice directly dictates the overall success of your production cycle. Today we're going to break down the origins, the real-world resilience, feed conversion, and strategic crosses of these two massive production powerhouses. Understanding these physiological and adaptive differences is vital so your investment translates into tangible gains, discovering exactly which variety you truly need to dominate your specific landscape. Let's begin. To start off on the right foot, we must clear up a very common confusion among poultry farmers. Sasso birds aren't ancient heritage breeds, but rather high-performance commercial lines, rustic hybrids developed by a French breeding company back in the late 70s. The reason for their existence was to solve a massive problem in the poultry industry of that era. Farmers needed an animal that grew faster than traditional hens but possessed much more strength and better meat flavor than industrial broilers that collapsed under the slightest weather change. That's how these birds were born, with the Naked Neck variety being one of the first to consolidate and dominate the free-range markets. They were specifically designed to thrive in demanding, unforgiving conditions where other commercial genetics simply fail due to sheer weakness. In this first part of our breakdown, we will focus on the all-terrain powerhouse built for hot climates, the Naked Neck Sasso. This specific variety incorporates the dominant Na gene, a natural mutation that heavily reduces the amount of feathers across the entire body, leaving the neck completely exposed. This physical trait is no aesthetic flaw, but rather an unbeatable evolutionary advantage for the bird to regulate its body temperature. By having less plumage, the bare skin of the neck acts as a natural radiator that dissipates internal heat out into the environment with incredible efficiency. While a fully feathered bird burns energy panting and trying to cool down under the scorching sun, the Naked Neck Sasso keeps its internal temperature stable with zero effort. This extreme heat adaptation dictates the flock's behavior in tropical regions. That superior capacity to regulate temperature makes a direct, heavy impact on the commercial breeder's wallet. During severe heat waves, thermal stress causes many birds to stop eating entirely to avoid generating metabolic heat, effectively stalling their development. However, the Naked Neck gene heavily decreases energy expenditure when facing high temperatures. Thanks to that built-in natural radiator, this variety maintains high feed intake even on the most suffocating summer days. By never interrupting their daily consumption, the bird maximizes its growth rate and secures a constant gain in pounds of meat. The farmer doesn't lose time or money during weeks of stalled production, ensuring the grow-out cycle keeps moving forward at full throttle. It's pure physiological efficiency working in favor of your returns, transforming every single ounce of feed into firm, valuable muscle mass. If you're wondering which Sasso line inherits a larger size, the scale usually tips slightly toward the Naked Neck variety due to this exact dynamic of uninterrupted consumption. From the moment these chicks break out of the shell, they showcase an outstanding hardiness and vigor out on the pasture. They are strong animals that get on their feet quickly and show superior resistance to environmental changes during those critical first weeks. Furthermore, the lack of feathers in key areas decreases the presence of external parasites, keeping the flock much cleaner and healthier with far fewer veterinary interventions. This raw vitality remains intact right up to processing age, which in free-range setups reaches its sweet spot between 80 and 90 days, delivering heavy carcasses with a broad conformation that premium markets demand. To back up that broad conformation, the feed conversion of the Naked Neck Sasso is highly competitive within the range of medium growth birds. They don't devour the ration with the bottomless appetite of a white industrial broiler, but their digestive system extracts extraordinary value from forages, insects, and whole grains. This constant foraging radar complements the balanced feed you provide in the troughs, dropping total maintenance costs around the farm. Their active, alert, and exploring temperament turns them into great pasture hunters, yet they maintain a manageable attitude that makes the breeder's daily chores easy. By constantly moving across the land hunting for natural resources, they develop strong musculature rich in myoglobin. The result is a meat with a reddish tone, firm to the cut, carrying an intense flavor reminiscent of old-school traditional farming. Although the strong suit of these genetics is rustic meat production, their performance in egg laying is a fundamental pillar for homesteaders seeking a true dual-purpose flock. The Naked Neck Sasso hens hit sexual maturity right around 22 to 24 weeks of age, at which point they start filling the nesting boxes with great consistency. Under optimal feeding and management conditions, a single hen of this variety can lay between 180 to 200 eggs per year. These eggs stand out for their great commercial grade, maintaining a steady size and weight that averages around 2.1 to 2.3 ounces each. They present a dark cream color, featuring thick shells that easily withstand daily manual collection and transport, heavily reducing the loss from breakage out on the farm. Another brilliant tactic utilized by elite producers is harnessing the naked neck gene through highly calculated crosses. Because the NA gene is dominant, crossing a vigorous Naked Neck Sasso flock sire with purebred hens like the Rhode Island Red gives you a hybrid offspring featuring the best of both worlds. This new generation inherits the featherless neck, thermal resistance, and excellent meat conformation of the male, combined with the unmatched laying capacity of the Rhode Island females. On the other hand, if the goal is purely pushing meat production, breeders cross Sasso stock with heavy commercial lines. This specific cross generates a broiler that is much more rustic and mobile than a pure industrial bird, fully capable of withstanding the elements of outdoor foraging while maintaining an accelerated weight gain schedule out on the pasture. In short, the naked neck variety was introduced to the poultry market to be the ultimate answer to harsh climates and outdoor rearing systems. Its physiology is built to ignore heat stress, allowing body development and egg production to push forward without stopping during the most challenging months of the year. It's the preferred choice for farmers operating in tropical regions or zones with long, suffocating summers, where a common bird would waste all its feed just trying to survive. The Naked Neck Sasso doesn't just survive, it thrives, walking the pasture under the sun and converting every ounce of grain and insect into economic yield. With these parameters clear regarding the first contender, we have a solid foundation to understand what we are dealing with before analyzing its fully feathered counterpart. Now, while the naked neck variety conquered the burning regions, the French company quickly understood that not all meat and egg producers operate under the unforgiving tropical sun. That's when, in the very same decade of the 70s, they consolidated the imposing fully feathered Sasso line, strategically designed as the perfect counterpart for temperate climates. This variety retains the exact same high-productivity genetic engine, but comes equipped with a thick feathered fortress covering every single inch of its body. The main reason for its development was pure field strategy, providing an equally rustic option for farmers located in mountain zones or valleys with harsh winters. In these rough, frozen environments, an exposed neck represented a highly dangerous heat leak, forcing the bird to burn expensive feed just to maintain its vital temperature and avoid freezing. That thick feather coat completely changes the rules of the game when temperatures drop and the first seasonal freezing frosts hit the pens. In a cold climate, the feathered Sasso operates as a perfect natural coat, trapping the body heat generated by its fast metabolism and preventing any energy loss. This unbeatable natural barrier ensures that all consumed feed goes straight into muscle growth and egg production, instead of being uselessly wasted on thermoregulation. While other birds suffer the heavy blows of the freezing wind and drop their daily weight gain, this specific line keeps a constant, solid pace in its body development. It's a flawless physiological design that protects the producer's hard-earned returns in demanding geographies, ensuring the flock hits its commercial weight without expensive delays or sudden, unexpected drops during those tough, unpredictable winter curves. From the very first day these fully feathered chicks step out of the brooder as sturdy little tanks, they show the exact same legendary resistance that characterizes the entire Sasso lineage. They possess an exceptionally vigorous start, getting up with agility to quickly explore the water and feed sources in the brooder pen. Their early plumage develops at an astonishing speed, covering their small bodies in record time to shield them from treacherous drafts that usually decimate other, less prepared commercial genetics. This superior vitality from the moment they break the shell translates into a massive survival rate, putting more healthy animals on the ground up to processing age. The farmer notices the huge difference, seeing uniform, robust flocks that tolerate rough handling and the natural variations of a challenging environment, requiring far less veterinary intervention and severely dropping heavy medication dependency. When it comes to which Sasso line yields a larger carcass, the competition is fierce and dictated directly by your farm's thermometer. Although the naked neck slightly wins out in the tropics due to uninterrupted intake, the feathered Sasso absolutely dominates the final weight in cold zones by not spending energy keeping warm. They hit their optimal processing weight between 80 and 90 days, maintaining an accelerated yet completely natural and healthy growth pace. At this exact point, they manage to deliver top-tier carcasses with an excellent proportion of broad breast and deeply meaty thighs. This superior muscular conformation, added to the tremendous firmness of their bone structure, makes them ideal for consumers seeking the authentic flavor of pasture-raised chicken. It is a highly predictable grow-out cycle guaranteeing the producer a visually imposing, attractive final product. Speaking of the actual numbers that truly matter in your business, The feed conversion of the Feathered Sasso is exact and highly efficient out on the farm. Although they definitely don't exhibit the destructive appetite of a white industrial broiler, their sophisticated digestive system extracts every single calorie from the balanced feed and the forages consumed on the open pasture. This excellent foraging radar pairs with a fairly calm, focused, and docile temperament, being much less prone to the extreme nervousness that other lineages suffer. By not wasting valuable energy running scared at any strange movement from the breeder, they deposit that important intramuscular fat, giving their meat unbeatable juiciness. They walk the terrain with a sure step, hunting insects and seeds, which heavily lowers daily feed costs and massively improves the meat's deep texture and flavor. For producers strategically focused on daily and constant collection, the productive performance of the fully feathered Sasso hens doesn't disappoint at all as a production line. These birds come into lay like clockwork, starting to produce consistently between 22 and 24 weeks of age, right on time for you to start recovering your initial investment. With solid feeding and care, these hens can give you between 180 to 200 premium-grade eggs per year for local sales. Their output is truly abundant, holding a steady and highly competitive weight, always averaging between 2.1 and 2.3 ounces per egg. The shell showcases an attractive deep cream color, featuring an extremely dense and very resistant structure that noticeably minimizes painful breakages during transport to those highly demanding local commercial markets around you. There is a crucial behavioral factor you must always consider with this variety, which is that the Sasso hen lacks a reliable or constant brooding instinct. Unlike old heritage breeds that easily go broody, these modern females strongly prefer to keep their cycle moving in the nesting boxes. If you are looking to multiply the flock on your own land, you can't depend on them to raise chicks, forcing you to use artificial incubators or good surrogate mothers from other breeds. Far from being a real problem, this lack of maternal instinct is a massive economic advantage for the highly competitive field producer. By never entering a broody state, the laying cycle never abruptly stops for weeks, holding a constant cash flow and ensuring your daily collection keeps generating solid returns without dealing with unforeseen pauses on your farm. Another brilliant tactic from elite professional breeders is harnessing the massive hybrid vigor of the fully feathered Sasso through highly calculated genetic crosses. By crossing vigorous foundation roosters of this variety with heavy commercial lines like Ross or Cobb, the F1 result is an absolutely formidable meat tank for temperate climates. Unlike the F1 cross with the Naked Neck, which proves unbeatable for resisting the scorching sun, the feathered F1 inherits a dense coat shielding it from the environmental cold while gaining mass at industrial speeds. If you want to boost a mixed flock, crossing the feathered Sasso with Rhode Island Red hens generates females with outstanding laying capabilities. While the Naked Neck F1 offspring offers thermal resistance in the tropics, this feathered cross guarantees continuous laying and heavy eggs right in the middle of a freezing winter. The final verdict for a sharp farmer isn't based on visual aesthetic preferences, but on a precise reading of the harsh weather dominating their agricultural land. Both lines hit the market with the exact same promise of hardiness, but their unique nature is designed to dominate completely opposite climates. The Sasso that yields more and puts more money in your pockets will always be the one that doesn't have to fight the thermal environment to survive daily. Choosing the right bird for your climate means drastically lowering your veterinary expenses, wiping out stress mortality, and securing an optimal feed conversion rate. Farm returns forgive no planning errors or emotional decisions. They exclusively reward breeders who align this powerful genetics with the temperatures of their setups, guaranteeing premium carcasses of the highest commercial value to supply demanding regional consumer markets. Now that you fully understand the exact physiological differences and the technical purpose behind the creation of these formidable French birds, complete control of your production is entirely in your hands. You have verified that each variety was specifically designed to thrive in completely opposite weather scenarios, transforming daily feed into pure muscle gain and truly consistent laying cycles. Let me know down in the comments which of these varieties makes the most sense for your setup. If you've got some value out of this breakdown, hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up so we can keep bringing you practical poultry advice. Remember that true mastery in the field is always built by sharing valuable information, so don't hesitate to exchange your own pasture experiences with other passionate breeders right down in the comment section. To your success, fellow breeder. Until next time.